Hello everybody, I hope you're keeping safe and sound during these extremely testing times of COVID-19 pandemic. This is not an easy time and everybody is suffering a lot, but it is extremely important that you take care of your health, stay healthy and stay safe. Today we're going to listen to a story, a crux of this story which is based on a beautiful book. You have heard this story many times, you have seen it on TV, you have heard it from your parents, you have read it in books. But what's different is that you must have heard the story from a male's perspective. What we're going to listen today is from a female perspective. So the story that we're going to note today is from the book The Forest of Enchantments. This is how the book looks like. It is by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. During this time when I could not concentrate on several books, this book kept me so absorbed and the story was so engrossing that I just couldn't keep the book away. This beautiful story is based on the kingdom of Mithila, where Sita was adopted. As you would know that Sita was not born to King Janak, rather she was adopted by King Janak. She was found as a small baby in the forests of Mithila by King Janak and his courtiers. For many years, King Janak and his wife could not bear a child, and when they found Sita there, they had this urge to adopt her and raise her. But miraculously, a year after Sita was adopted, King Janak was blessed again with one more daughter, whom they named as Urmila. The story is based on Mithila, and we learn about the upbringing of Sita, how she grew up, of what she was fond of. What we learn more importantly is that Sita was not like ordinary girls. She was not the one who was fond of doll houses and getting dressed up, ornaments and marriages, all that. Sita was more like a warrior. She was more important to learn new skills that would help her protect from enemies, that would help her to take care of herself and other things. Of what we know more about Sita is that she was also very fond of plants, herbs and trees. She could feel their pain, she could feel their emotions, and she was very attached to them. During her tender years, Sita was so good with plants and herbs that the people of Mithila used to come to her whenever they were going through some kind of illness or disease, and she would treat them with those herbs and plants and leaves, and that's when the people of Mithila became quite fond of Sita. This story primarily teaches us four things: the emotion of love, the emotion of jealousy, the emotion of forgiveness, and the emotion of bonding. Of course, it talks about the saga, the love, the bonding between Ram and Sita, but also it has other important characters of Ramayana. Growing up, most of our children and students are not aware of the facts of Ramayana and how was it built up and everything. But this book, when I started reading, there were so many things that even I didn't know as a person, because I saw Ramayana as a kid on TV and there were not many things that I could remember back then. But this book teaches us about the bonding Sita had with the sacred bow of Shiva, which was Hardhanu, which was given by a sage to King Janak to protect Sita, because he knew that when Sita would grow up, she would turn into an extremely beautiful woman, and Janak will not be able to take good care of Sita in terms of finding her the appropriate match. So there was this condition laid by the hermit to King Janak that whenever they would like to find a match for Sita, the person interested in marrying her should be able to lift her Dhanu and should be able to target that bow and arrow to a certain limit. So when Sita grew up and she was of marriageable age, so Hardhanu asked King Janak to spread a word that he is interested in getting his daughters married, and to mention that a person interested in marrying Sita should be able to lift Hardhanu and should be able to target from that the bow and arrow. And that's when Lord Ram also came as one of those suitors and asked for the hand of Sita, and he was successful in lifting her Dhanu, and he also broke it into pieces. Now when we ask why did he break her Dhanu into pieces, because that was a sacred bow and arrow which belonged to Lord Shiva. Ram only had the body of a human, but he had powers of a lord. He had certain kind of consciousness, or he had some kind of knowing from inside. There was some kind of urge that was telling him to break it into pieces, because that's how her Dhanu would get moksha. If he did not break her Dhanu into pieces, he would not get moksha. So straight when he was broken into pieces, her Dhanu soul went to the mountains of Himalaya where Shiva and Parvati resided. So the four important emotions or the four important things that we learn in this book is love, jealousy, forgiveness and bonding. We see love between Ram and Sita, of course, but we see love between King Dashrath and King Ram. He was extremely fond of Ram than he was to any of his sons. We see love between King Janak and Sita. We see love that Sita has for her own plans that she grew in Mithila and later what she grew in Ayodhya. Because when Ram was banished for 14 years of exile and Sita just wanted to accompany him to exile, so we saw that immediately when the plants came to know about her leaving them, those plants turned black. So we see that these plants and trees and herbs also understand emotions. So when they knew that this person who took so good care of us is leaving us, all of them just turned black and died. We learn about jealousy of what Kekai had for Ram, because when King Dashrath took this decision to throne Ram as the king of Ayodhya, also known as the house of Raghu or Kaushal, because Ayodhya was a gift by Kaushalya's parents to King Dashrath. So when Dashrath took the decision of crowning Ram as the king of Ayodhya, Kekai could not take this because she did not wanted Ram to be the king. Instead, she wanted Bharat, her own son, to be the king. But her decision of forcing Dashrath, and he had to accept this because it was once that King Dashrath gave her a word that whenever Kekai would ask him about two things, he gave her a promise that whenever Kekai would ask him anything, he would have to give it to her. That was a promise given to Kekai because Kekai saved King Dashrath's life twice in battles where he was just close to being killed. So Kekai saved his life because she was his charioteer. She used to drove his chariot during those wars. Now when we learn about jealousy, we also see that love could also kill. When we see that in this book, what we understand is when Ram was leaving Ayodhya and his chariot was moving away from Ayodhya, King Dashrath could not bear that amount of pain, the separation, the anxiety that was caused by his leaving. So immediately he had this thought in his heart, and in that very moment, in that very state, he died. Kekai could not see that her decision or her jealousy for Ram, what repercussions it would have on King Dashrath or on Bharat or on Ayodhya or on the entire family as a whole. So we also learn about jealousy. We learn about forgiveness, that even after what Kekai did to Ram and the entire Ayodhya, and King Dashrath passed away, and there were so many other things. Bharat refused to take up as the king of Ayodhya. Still, Ram had forgiven Kekai for her deeds. And also we learn what Hardhanu used to tell Sita, which was very interesting, that Hardhanu used to communicate with Sita because he was extremely fond of her. Over the years, they had created a very special bond, and he would communicate with Sita. So he also told her the same thing, that when Lord Shiva and Parvati fought, there was a turmoil, there was turbulence that was caused by their fighting because they had immense powers in them. But they always, gradually, they ended up forgiving each other, because when you love somebody, you also tend to forgive them, and you should forgive them. So we learn about forgiveness. We learn about bonding, that when Sita got married and came to the kingdom of Ayodhya, the bonding she shared with Kaushalya, and how she put an effort in making a special bond between Dashrath and Kaushalya after whatever differences they had, and she was not treated well, she was not given that kind of importance by King Dashrath. So we see bonding in this book. I would like to read you this book, or tell you the story or the crux of this book in separate parts, so that you don't lose an interest, and you also come to know the story in a better way and understand it. But I would also want you to read this book, because unless and until you read this book, you would not know of how beautifully it's woven. It just creates some kind of magic when it goes with that flow, page wise, chapter wise. So you'll also enjoy this book a lot. There's some very important characters that you come to know from this book, like the character of Hardhanu. There was this devil princess Tarhaka, whom Ram killed on his way to Mithila, and she was huge. She was the size of a mountain, and she was a blood-sucking devil. So there were so many characters that I wasn't sure, I was not aware of. So it was only after reading this book could I understand those characters better. So hope you enjoy this video, and please like, share and comment if you liked it. Keep enriching your minds, keep gathering a lot of good information, and stay liberated and stay safe. Until next time, bye.